And I'm hearing that non-time is this really powerful thing to schedule. So for people that don't know what that is, can you describe non-time a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah, so non-time is just literally blocking out time, blocking out pockets of time where you do, as instructed, nothing, right? Or something that is completely off topic from any of your work activities, right? And it feels, especially when you start, it feels a little frightening, feels like a little like, oh my God, this is such a waste of time. But the benefits after doing that like consecutively are astronomical. And just in headspace alone, right? So that was a big non-time. And I'm so glad you brought up the creative thing, right? Because that is absolutely, that is one of those tendencies that internally, like that my inner artist and my inner ADD artist really tries to like resist and fight against, is like, oh my God, we're planning our week before the week's even happened? Who does that? It's like, well,
Thank you.
yeah, but again, and it feels like somehow you're depriving yourself of the spontaneity. So without being too like mystical about it, there's a prevailing sense that you're somehow undermining the opportunity for like magic to happen, right? By having a calendar of events, right? And what I would say is the opposite is actually true. Like, to be completely blunt about it, when you have your shit locked down, magic does happen, because it lets you, frees you up to see all of these patterns that you wouldn't see otherwise, because you're usually, if you're not doing the calendar worship piece, if you're not minding yourself, you're usually like, okay, what do I have to do today? And how do I have to do that? And what do I have to get prepared for this presentation, or da da da? And then it's taking up so much bandwidth that, you're not getting this opportunity of like, oh my God, I just met, the author of this book and they have this up, and you just see things in a way that's a lot clearer, and the connections are a lot clearer than if you don't, right?
No, completely. And I think that, yeah, to your point, if you haven't locked in, the things that you need to get done, if that you don't have clarity there, then you end up spending precious cognitive bandwidth on low value decision making instead of saving it for the magic. I'm really glad that you brought up non-time, because to me, that's really an opportunity to protect a whole area of time for you to get divergent, for you to get creative. And sometimes, I urge clients, use that non-time just to think about one or two really important questions. Let yourself just kind of think it through, spend some time with it without any distraction. It's just such an impactful way to build that cognitive surplus. Right?
And what I would add to that too, and you can tell me if but like, what I would add to that is also like, don't be married to the answers, right? So set yourself up with the question. I think that's a great way to like tee everything up. It's really, it helps you kind of go deep. But like, sometimes the answers that I've gotten in now making this a regular practice have been about problems that I didn't even know I needed to ask about.
No, I think that you bring up an important point of non-time is not supposed to be dedicated to a certain outcome or result. It's just thinking time. And so I think it really challenges you to fight that urge of, okay, I have a question and now I'm rushing to the solution space. It really encourages you to stay in the problem space, get divergent, really explore. And like you said, it opens you, right, to so many different potential.
There is like an element of just openness and just being like trusting the process, right? Like, I'm going to do this thing. And, at a certain point, like, even if I don't have the exact answer that I'm looking for, the exact answer that I need, I'm going to have, it's like, I'm going to have freed up the space to actually, right?
One of my favorite things about training with FRC, honestly, is that through the process, you actually redefine what you see as productive. Recovery and rest, it's actually very productive. It's incredibly productive. Yeah. Spending time just getting divergent and allowing yourself to explore potential and different possibilities, really explore the problem space, that is productive.